Yo, what's up guys, Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about 5 different ways that you can save money. Now, before this video starts, I just want to say that I think making money and saving money are both equally as important. If you're not making enough, there's no possible way that you can be saving enough. Yet at the same time, if you are making enough and you're not saving enough, then it doesn't really matter because it's not so much how much you make, it's about how much you keep. In fact, there's a saying that goes, it's not about how much you make, it's about how much you keep. Before this video starts, I just want to remind you to check the first link in the description if you want to learn how to build a business buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities. The second link will give you information on how I built a business flipping pallets. The third link is if you want to learn how to become an independent courier. The fourth link is a book by my mentor in real estate, which will teach you how to flip houses using none of your own money. Check out the fifth link if you want to get 6 free stocks on Webull simply by opening up a brokerage account and depositing at least 1 penny. Below that is a link to my merchandise store where I sell t-shirts. If you like my content and want to show support, go ahead and pick something up. I think all new entrepreneurs and people who go from, nothing to something experience that at some point in their journey where, at one point they're making $30, $40, $50,000 a year, and then they're a, say, basketball player, or they're a now successful entrepreneur, or, they went from nothing to something and they had to get that out of their system. I know I personally did, where I spent a bunch of the money I made from one of my first businesses buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities. I basically was a young kid who never made any money, didn't grow up with money, made my first 6 figures by 21, and in fact, I didn't keep any of it. But now, as I matured, got older, and have continuously been successful in business, I'm now seeing that it's about making investments. Yes, you can splurge from time to time, but at the same time, you have to know how to discipline and control yourself, and then actually tuck that money away for a rainy day. So in this video, I'm gonna give you guys 5 ways to save money. Be sure to stick through the entire video because a lot of these are going to be ways that can really benefit for you. But also, before we get into this video, if you guys aren't making any money, like if you're only making a few $1,000s a month, yes, watch this so that you can have it in the back of your head for when you do start making money. But if you're making $1,000, $2,000 a month, you're not going to be bringing enough in to actually really start tucking some away for an investment account, for a retirement account, for your savings account, because you need to bring in enough income to be able to implement these strategies. So go back to my other videos where I talk about different side hustles you can do. Be sure to check the links in the description. There's a variety of side hustles and business resources for you guys to do your due diligence about, but you need to be bringing in income to ever even be able to really see these all the way through. So the first thing we have is budget, right? So it's really important to have a budget. It's really important to know how much money do you actually need to survive. You should also know how much money are you spending every single month. I made a previous video about for people who want to leave their job. If you want to leave your job and say you make $3,000 per month, right? For easy math, $3,000 per month divided by the average month of 30 days, you need to be making $100 per month to replace that income of a job, right? So you should know, hey, my rent is $1,500, my car between insurance and if I have a car note is $500, all my utility bills are another $500, my food is $300. So if I did the math correctly on that, that's $2,800. I know I need $2,800 to survive. That's food, that's not buying new Jordans, that's not going out to the fancy restaurant, that's to survive. So you should know how much money you're spending every single month and have a budget, have it written down, have an app for it, know what your expenses are, whether you're in a business or whatever you're at, know how much you're spending, know what's going in, what's going out, because it happens to the best of us. If you don't know, you could make a bunch of money and then have no idea where it went because it went to this bill or to that bill. So know what you're spending on a monthly basis so you're not just randomly all over the place. You should know what your bills look like every single month so you could stay on track. And then that okay, maybe I do have an extra $100 here, I could put it over there. Or maybe this month I haven't spent or splurged in a few months, I want to spend an extra $100 on myself, or an extra $1,000 or an extra $2,000. So make sure you know your numbers, you're not just, winging it more or less. The next thing is cash only. Now, I'm all for leverage. I'm all for, good debt and good debt over bad debt. But at the same time, don't fall into the trap of consumer debt where you're just swiping your card, and using your card for your personal bills. Yes, it can be good if you're getting points and rewards, but a lot of people fall into the trap especially when they're not super financially stable, of using a credit card and just swiping and swiping it, because it's real easy when you don't really have to use your own cash. But when you physically have to use your own cash, you really watch what you spend much more carefully than if you're just swiping a credit card. You have that $5, $10, $15, $20,000 limit, and it's real easy to swipe it and then know that you can pay it back on a revolving limit and pay back maybe $50, $60, $100 per month while you're just running it up, and there's real no benefit to it. So unless you're using your credit card to leverage your business, try to stay away from credit cards and just use cash. In fact, there's a saying that goes, if you can't, either buy it in cash, or if you can't afford it twice, you shouldn't be buying it anyway. Now, but if you're using your credit cards to leverage your business and grow your business, that's completely different. But just being a consumer with your credit card can really put you in a bad position. The next thing is, don't touch your savings. Now, I think every single month, maybe bi-monthly or quarterly, you should be putting some sort of money into your savings. Not to mention, you should have at any given point, right? And if you don't, when you see this video, you should start working towards that. You should have at least 3 to 6 months of savings on whatever it costs you to survive, right? Say if it costs you, just say for easy math, say it costs you $5,000 a month to survive, times 6, you should have $30,000 away in your savings that you do not touch. That is for if you get fired, that is if you lose your business, that is if you have some sort of emergency crisis. You should have 3 to 6 months, if not more, in your savings for emergency purposes. And then, not to mention, you should continuously be adding to your savings, whether it's an investment account, a money market account, or just a savings account, and be putting some sort of money in there every single month, or bi-monthly or quarterly, and then do not touch it. Literally do not touch it. That is literally for emergency purposes. Don't, if you can't afford to transfer as much as you want in there, transfer whatever you can that's inside of your budget. So put money in there, and then do not touch your savings. Work with what you have in your checking, work with what you have in your operational account. I have a video on my channel. I'll try to pin it up here or here about the different bank accounts you should have. But when you put money into that savings, do not touch it. The next thing is, who benefits? See, a lot of people, they fall into that consumer trap, and it's going to go along with number 5, but who's really benefited? When you're making a purchase, is it for the benefit of you? Is it for something that a vacation? Is it an investment? You should really ask, who is the main benefit? Is it just you on Amazon buying this, buying that, buying this, buying that? You should really ask, who benefits in the situation? Is it you, or is it the person selling you the product or the service? So really, who benefits in this situation? A lot of people are spending so much money that they otherwise really don't have to. And, it can really catch up, because you might think you have a lot, and then you swipe, order a few things online, and before you know it, the amount of money that you had in your checking account or the amount of money you made that week just got cut in half. And then the last thing is impulse buy. And look, we're all guilty of this. I've done it. Everybody's done it. But what I like to do, this is how I really control myself and hold myself accountable, is if I think I want something, or if I think I need something, or if I think I want to move forward with something, whether it's personal, whether it's business, whether it's coaching, whether it's mastermind, whether it's product or service, I sleep on it for 24 to 48 hours. I sleep on it for 24 to 48 hours. And then after those 24 to 48 hours, I'll be able to make a better conclusion to whether I really need it, or I just want it, or I completely don't need it at all. But we'll try to rationalize and justify in our mind as to why we might need it. But sleep on it for 24 to 48 hours. If you still need it, then go ahead and do it. But just, buying something like an upsell, or going to the grocery store and then you already spent $100 on groceries, so when you go to the checkout counter, they got magazines and candy and gum and drinks. Do you need to spend an extra $15 to $20 on all that stuff? Do you need to buy the extra $20, $30, $40, $100 items on Amazon? Do you need to upgrade when you buy your new computer, to buy a camera, a charger, an iPad, and everything? That's why you should sleep on it for 24 to 48 hours. And then the last thing, which is kind of like a little bonus, is to have a side hustle. Like I said, it's important to be saving money, but at the very same time, you need to be making money. If you're only making a few $1,000s a month, if you're only making $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 a month, you simply don't have enough meat on the bone. There's not enough wiggle room to really see these things through. Now, when you start making 5, 10, 15, 20K per month, that's when you have some wiggle room inside of your life, inside of your financial plan to, you know, put money into savings, to budget and to really. But when you're when your bills are $3,000 and you're making $3,000, it's very tight. Most people live a life where they make $3,000, their bills are $2,500. That's way too tight. I said in a previous video that your lifestyle and your life will really maximize and really change when you 5 to 10x your monthly bills. If your bills are, say, $1,000, you're making $5,000, or your bills are $1,000, you're making $10,000, or your bills are $2,000 and you're making $10,000, or your bills are $2,000, you're making $20,000. That's when your life literally goes from, you know, zero to hero, right? So if you're not making enough money, but you still wanted to take in some of these things I said, you should definitely pick up a side hustle. Like I said, you can check the description for a bunch of resources about that. Also check my channel because I make a bunch of videos all about different side hustles and extra ways to make some extra money every single month. But that's all I have for today's video. If you guys enjoyed the video, be sure to put a thumbs up on it. Again, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Subscribe if you haven't already subscribed, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.